there? Is it up there? Is it up there? I do not see it. My wife must have it. The plot thickens. All right, so here it is. I've been waiting for this box for a few months now, and it came in literally overnight from Japan.
Overnight parts from Japan.
We'll put it on my tab at Harry's.
Yes.
Nagoya, and it made it here in Texas less than 24 hours. So technically, I did get parts overnighted from Japan. How exciting is that? Okay, so before I open this box, I do want to go over a couple things. Just because this process has been ongoing for at least the past like 5-6 months for me on buying this GTR. The video that I'm going to do is going to be strictly around what's going on in the contents of this box, but I do want to kind of make this an opportunity to express that I can make more videos about my whole importation process, the buying, the finding, the buying, the finance end of it, all, you know, like kind of how I was able to pull things together there, the folks that you'll need to talk to and work with, as well as kind of like some of the things that they don't talk about, like how to buy something, put a bunch of money across the ocean, hope for the best, and then not have something for 2 years at a time is very hard to kind of deal with, especially in the initial stages. It's easier as you go on because you know the car is there and you're confident, but the whole process does have its pitfalls. It has its pluses and minuses, and some things I wish I would have known kind of going into it, which I don't think I really expressed in other videos on YouTube. I think there's some decent information out there, but in terms of the whole process thing of it, it's just never really explained. Where I live in Houston, it's not uncommon to see some cars that are out driving around that are not 25 years or older that are imported, and there's definitely a gray market out there, and although it seems intriguing, I think there's a lot of risks involved with that, and I want to kind of go into some of those things, as well as kind of like some of the things that are happening just generally in the import market, because a lot of these cars, you know, the values of them are going up. There's a lot of junk too that's getting tossed around as being, you know, immaculate condition cars, as well as like I think there's some market manipulation that might be occurring as well. And so I kind of want to talk about all the good and the bad that's kind of happening. Now, these cars, they might plateau for a while, but I don't think they're ever going to go down in value. So I think they are a decent investment, but it just depends on what you're getting into, what you're hoping to get out of it too. So anyway, if you find this the content interesting, I can continue to make it. You know, let me know though, like put likes and subscribes and all that sort of stuff. If I get some interest in it, I'll document the rest of that process. I'm not looking to be a YouTube, you know, star or anything. Obviously, I got my day job behind me, so it's more or less just kind of sharing information and getting it out there to help folks that maybe are considering going down the same sort of thing. And you can always send me a private message too. I'll try to answer those. Like, you know, I'm also pretty active on some of the Skyline owner Facebook groups. So, you know, I try to post out there as well to help some folks along, maybe give some context or just other things. But getting back to the scope of what this video is for, it's going to be around this box right here, which I've been waiting on since I bought the car. I bought the car back in October, and I'm just now getting this box today. There are some parts in there which I think are going to be kind of cool, but there's other contents in there that I'm more excited to see, and I'm hoping that it's really in that box, and we're going to find out together. So let me find a better area in the house or outside, maybe got some better lighting, and we'll go ahead and open that box up and take a look at the contents. I think it's going to be pretty exciting stuff, and it's fun to actually feel like I'm getting something for the money I paid for buying this car, if anything, in a little box. All right, guys, so here we are. I got the box. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Like I said, this came in less than a day, which I'm surprised, from Nagoya to Texas. So I'm going to cut this guy open carefully because I don't really know how any of this is packed, nor do I really know what the contents are. I know one thing that's going to be in here, which I think is going to be pretty cool, but everything else, I'm not exactly sure what to expect. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. All right, well, looks like everything's well packed, whatever it is. Peanuts. I think this is what I've been waiting for the most, I can already tell. So when I bought this car back in October, I was told it came well documented with all the original materials and everything in it. And it does look like that's the case. At least this is the original owner's manual, which is kind of neat. It's all in Japanese. So looks like it has a spare key in it. as well as something else, remote, probably a remote for the audio system that's in it. There's a head unit in it. It's one of those, you know, double din kind of DVD player, you know, type deals, but there's a remote for it as well. Probably pretty useless for me. Yeah, this looks like it's navigation information, all the original material that maybe came with the car, which is kind of neat to see that. The original Skyline owner's manual, best driving pleasure it says on it, which is kind of cool. So we'll go into that a little bit more later. So I was waiting on this. Let's see what else we have in here. Looks like I've got my original invoice, which I won't show all the detail on it, but that's kind of private, which I'll need to hold on to that for when the car is actually imported. And then this. So this was what I knew I was going to get in the mail. Some of you guys might be able to tell what it is without me unwrapping it, but it's kind of neat. So it's the original instrument cluster from the car. And the reason why I got this is that the car has a Nismo instrument cluster in it currently. So this is the original, and then the Nismo one that's in there currently. I have both of them, so they'll always kind of be with the car. The original mileage was kept on this one, and then that was transferred over to the new cluster, or at least documented from Nissan when the cluster was replaced. So I got that, which I thought was really cool, that he would send this along. So this will probably go up in my office for now. I really don't have any other use for it besides like some sort of like, you know, showpiece. But really what I was most interested in was getting all this material. It looks like there's quite a bit of maintenance records back here. I'll go through those at some point and just kind of read through it. But yeah, all the documentation for the car. Looks like there's a couple invoices in here as well. So yeah, excited to get this stuff. Excited to get this manual as well, which I think is all the service records. Oh yeah, so all the service records for this vehicle, which is kind of cool because I can get some of this translated using like a little application. So everything that's been replaced, spark plugs at some point, probably timing belt, I know that that was done. Yeah, it's neat to have all this information together, and at least to stay with the car and not be lost, because oftentimes you lose this type of stuff. So anyway, that's what's in the box. I was really excited to get this. It's the first thing I've gotten really with the new car. And again, I won't see it for another 2.5 years. So, but I do have some mementos to put in my office for the time being and some reading material to translate. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like I said earlier, if you guys find the content interesting and you want to see more of it, you know, definitely let me know. Leave comments, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll try to make more. I'll go through the whole process. I have a lot more material as well in terms of like what tools I use to find cars, who I worked with, that whole importation process that will be happening later, but mainly all the storage stuff that I'm doing currently. So I think there's a lot of information out there that I can kind of help you guys with. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or send me a direct message, and I'll help you guys out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. We'll talk to you later. One other thing to cover about this instrument cluster is it's very important that if you're getting a car overseas with either a swapped instrument cluster, or you're going to do the swap yourself, like let's say you found a nice Nismo one. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore, so you're going to have to probably pay an arm and a leg for the Nismo one. But what you'll get is something like, hold on one second, I'm going to block out some key information. So in my maintenance records, this right here is, I'm covering my chassis code, but this right here is a certificate that you would get from Nissan when they do the instrument cluster swap, because they don't program the new cluster. So this cluster, for instance, had 76,000 kilometers on it, and you can see in here that it's dated when the cluster was swapped, at how many kilometers it had, and then it's also got some stamping there to kind of prove authentication. And so this was done by Nismo, or Nissan, I should say, a Nissan dealer in Japan in late November of just this past year. And the original cluster had 76,000 miles on it. So when I fire that up, or when this goes ultimately with the next owner of the car, they'll know that the total mileage between both clusters is the accurate and true amount of mileage for the vehicle itself. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of show that, because I think that that's kind of interesting to have that information with the car. You definitely want to get as much documentation as possible. Again, back here, all these are service records, and they'll explain when different things were done on the car. If I can get my camera to focus here. So they'll explain when different things were done on the car, different characteristics like that. You can translate a lot of this information so that you can have better record keeping of the vehicle. So anyway, I just wanted to explain that. This book right here is a very exciting book to have because it really does explain everything with the vehicle in terms of its history and its authenticity. So you definitely want to get as much material as you can. Unfortunately, buying cars through auction, sometimes it has it, sometimes it doesn't. On the auction sheets though, sometimes it notates if there's a little notation box whether or not the car comes documented or not. So anyway, yeah, thanks again for watching. Sorry, I made a little addendum here to this video, but I did want to show that really quick. And this thing is in mint condition. These things too, even though this is a stock one, I think they go for a couple grand because people like to swap them in the GTT cars, which have a slightly different instrument cluster. But yeah, this one's in really nice condition. It's gonna go in my office. I'm excited. Again, guys, thank you for joining. I can definitely give you a bit more detail about the GTR that I got. I realized I didn't really go over that at all in the video. But so for what I had bought, what I'd looked for, very specifically, I'll add some pictures throughout this quick outro, but basically it's a 1999 Bayside Blue GTR V-Spec. The specific criteria that I wanted, I also wanted something that was going to be under 100,000 kilometers, lower if possible. Although I would spend more if it was a well-maintained car. Luckily, we found one with 76,000 kilometers, as we were just talking about with the cluster. So that was really the best vehicle that I could find. I can go into more detail about the whole search process, but just wanted to kind of do a quick outro. Thank you guys again for joining and kind of show you a couple pictures of the car, because I realize talking about it is one thing, but you probably want some sort of like visual representation of what we're actually referring to. So anyway, thank you again for joining. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll keep making more content if you guys find it useful. You guys have a good one. Bye.